because of the labor shortage, especially in this space, you can skip around, but eventually that will catch up to you, right? So, I mean, as tough as it is to have these conversations about doing something fundamentally different than we've done the last 15 to 20 years is difficult, but I guarantee you it's a much easier conversation to have this conversation than having the conversation about why your team's getting let go, why you're being let go, why you have no funding, why, on and on and on. And it's because we've stopped thinking critically about what we're collecting, and it's just we're going to collect stuff to collect stuff. We're going to point to it in a room and say, hey, look at all the stuff we did, and we're going to feel good about that even though it's incredibly empty and hollow.
Yeah. And like it seems like some of those decisions, the build and move on mentality of the space, the oversimplification of what it takes to get a data ecosystem up and running is starting to catch up, because I've had recent conversations with folks in different companies, different industries, different verticals, and I'm starting to hear the same thing of, there was just one not too long ago. I'm just tired of the constant replatforming. Like there's this fatigue that it's taken 15 years for us to get here. It's taken this amount of time, but like I'm starting to see it where people are getting frustrated with, like, we're not moving anywhere forward. We re-implement, and we have constantly the same problems. We bring in different partners and we still have the same problems.
Yeah.
This is getting old.
And ultimately it's a leadership and a people problem. To your point, like people like to talk about solution. Oh, like Adobe sucks, or if you do like a real data practice and build your own custom database, that's the answer. Like, no, none of these things are the answer. There's no magic solution out there. Well, just throw in our solution. We like have this listener that collects all this data, and then no, it's not the answer. Like this is not a tool problem. We have more tools to choose from than ever before. There's lots of amazing solutions out there that you can align with your business needs. But if you don't have the right leadership and vision in place for putting in place a practice that is sustainable over a period of time, it doesn't matter. Like none of these solutions are going to work for you. So we need to get out of the thought that this is a software problem. We need to get out of the thought that this is a, pipes problem. This is fundamentally a people problem, and fundamentally a lack of executive leadership problem. And yeah, I mean, it's finally catching up. I mean, we've been riding this wave, but at some point in time, if we're spending millions of dollars a year on software and people and we're not getting anything in return, eventually someone's going to step in and say, like, enough is enough. And we saw that in small portions with the pandemic, where budgets were tightened and it's like, no value here, guys, you're out. It'll be interesting to see if there's any kind of long-term recession that will also force that conversation. But I also think as we kind of move to a new way of working and the office becomes decentralized and companies really look at their overhead and their spend, I think they're going to come to a logical conclusion that, man, we were spending a lot of money on things that just weren't returning value for us. And analytics is going to be squarely in that crosshair. That day, if it's not here, is coming very soon. And so any of us that work in the space, just out of a mere survivability standpoint, we should be thinking critically about the decisions we're making and the value we're producing, and that the days of doing work to do work, the days of being judged by output and action rather than value created, I think are going to be behind us.